down, guys. So, we'll wait for a few people to jump on here. We are going to go live with JB, or we're live, but he's going to call here in a couple minutes. Or, you know, whatever. But, yo, 671JH, what is going down? I was just, this has nothing to do with Vegas. We'll wait for JB, but, yo! We'll wait for JB to jump on. He'll be calling my other phone here. Well, not my other phone, but my wife's phone. But I wanted to, I was watching Cooking Channel. Uh-oh, maybe this is JB. Yep. Yo! What's going down?
What's happening, man? How you doing?
Good, you're live.
Oh, that's what's up. What's going on, everybody? Whole community, what's happening? Hopefully get some conversation going.
Yeah, ask them if they can you guys hear him okay? Can you guys hear JB okay? They're all saying hey, so I think they know what's up.
Word, that's what's up.
Hey, so JB, just try to talk as loud as you can, because they just said kind of.
I got you.
But this is kind of off subject. Before I got on right now, I was waiting for my wife to get done with her phone, and I was watching a cooking channel, and I don't know what vegan is, really. You know, I don't know. I haven't followed it, so I really don't know. But they were talking about vegan white sugar.
Okay.
And I was like, well, what the heck is vegan white sugar? So I looked it up, and one white sugar comes from sugar beets, which I used to grow. And also the other one comes from cane sugar. Both plants, right?
Okay.
But in the vegan world, the sugar beets are considered vegan, and the sugar cane is not proper for vegan.
I got you.
I don't know how that makes any sense.
So is that the farmer's fact of the day right there?
That's the farmer's fact of the day.
We need to get one of those at the beginning or the end of one of your videos, man. The farmer's fact for the day.
Yeah, no, I found that interesting, and I thought, I was like, what the heck? So I thought I'd bring it up real quick, but
I'll roll with you. I'll roll with you.
So I'm gonna kind of let you start, and wherever you take us, that's where we'll go.
All right, so I really didn't put out, other than the conversation I had with you, I really didn't put out some of the ideas that I had about the body cam footage. A lot of people have already said, you know, some of the stuff I'm about to say, so, you know, it is what it is, just my take on it. So I kind of came up with a nickname for this Bisco guy. I've been calling him Bisquick, like a pancake that just flows out. I said it one day by mistake, and it just stuck in my head. So I'm probably going to refer to him a lot and his body camera.
Who?
Bisquick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bisquick.
So Bisquick, I think it was a choice that he didn't show us a lot of that room, and I'm disappointed about that, because he had the opportunity to pan across the room and you know, move up and down so we could see the public. I mean, he should have thought that those were going to come out eventually, in my opinion. So I'm kind of disappointed that, you know, he didn't look around the room more. So a lot of folks are talking about, you know, how he looks in 134 and he kind of looks back quick. Again, I would have to think he knew the camera couldn't see into 134 at that point. And when he looked over to the right, he saw something that he personally didn't want to see.
I agree.
So that's kind of my take on that. It's not something that he didn't want maybe the public to see or whatever. He himself looked a little frightened by that and kind of looked the other direction. So I'm kind of curious what he did see that made him shook like that. I guess as is everybody else, right?
Yeah. No, I totally agree there. He had plenty of opportunity. Well, let's just put it this way. Whatever they seen in the bathroom in 135 was more important than what was going on in 134 because they all wanted to go in there and do like a little circle jerk.
Yeah, the shutting off of the lights was a little strange as well. I don't know how you're not going to trample evidence. You know, why would you turn the lights off? I don't know. That was a little confusing as well.
I kind of want to know if somebody's going to shoot my ass too.
Yeah, you never know. That's what kind of scared me. You know, about that. If they knew the camera was on the car. You know, if Campos did report that somehow that did get relayed within those 50 minutes. You know, how did they know that this gentleman wasn't going to fire out the 134 door or the 135 door? How did they know? You know, I don't know. That was kind of strange. Again, in the heat of the moment, I guess tactically you do what you have to do. Just a weird decision from my particular standpoint.
Well, it didn't look like a it almost, that's what I meant. It almost looked like a pre-made decision of what he was going to look at and win. Because if has anybody seen that movie Training Day, where they take the rookie out there and they make him smoke the crack and all this? That's what these body cams remind me of. It's total. It's like it was all new to them, but they almost acted like that way because they knew what was going on.
Yeah. Also, in that case, I would assume that some of those cops were never in that particular situation or trained for that particular situation when they were making those makeshift crews. So, you know, I would think, you know, a lot of the direction from Bisquick there, you know, at one point he does say that they were doing a great job. So those guys were probably never fit to actually do the job that Bisquick was trained for. So I'm assuming that some of that came into play that particular evening. But my thing is, you know, I'm thinking about this the last couple of weeks. What happened? What made him stop shooting? Like, what was it? You know, did he see something on the cameras that he didn't like? Did he say, I'm good, you know, I'm satisfied with what I did, see you later, I'm just going to take my life? You know, what caused him just to stop? You know, and how did they know that he was done? You know, did they hear him to himself? You know, did Boston and Hendrick, who were in the hallway, report down that, hey, we just heard a couple shots, you know, a couple single shots or that one single shot that came from the firearm, you know, we think he just killed himself. Did something like that get relayed back? I'm not quite sure. But again, what made this guy stop? I just can't. That's a piece that I can't even put my own spin on it and make it fit into what I'm thinking.
No, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that too. Because, you know, if let's put yourself out there. I mean, if I did all that, you know, damage, and I still had, you know, 5,000 rounds and all those guns, I think I'd just jump out the window and shoot all the way down.
I mean, he could have did, you know, a number of different things. You know, he could have been up there for you know, hours just waiting for folks with all that ammo. I mean, you would have had to bring a serious team in there with all the ammo this guy had. So, you know, what made him actually stop? Was there something that happened in between those, you know, that 10-17 time frame? So the time they actually blew the door where he took his life. Another question I have, you know, for the folks that are listening, for you as well, some people think otherwise. I think he was laying face down and then they rolled him over. But I didn't see them actually roll him over. And my thoughts on that is the blood stain on the carpet. A lot of the blood is soaked in like a spot. And then in the leak photos, there's a whole bunch of blood going down his face, and it's fresh. So one of the commenters in a video that I had made had pointed out that, you know, he probably died on his face, and then when they came in and they flipped him over, you know, blood then gushed again out of his mouth. So I'm kind of curious to know what people thought. If he, you know, did he shoot himself and land face down? And the direction I would go with that is to kind of explain the gun over the leg thing. So, you know, I'd like to know what people think. You know, was he face down or was he face up, or did they flip him, you know, to check for ID, etc. When they rushed the room?
People are asking me right now, what position do we think he was shooting from? Well, I don't know, because I still don't know if Paddock was shooting or he wasn't. I'm still I'm still undecided. I'll look at any view. You know what I mean? Until that view's totally wrong, then I'll move. You know. So.
All right. So the actual position that he was actually shooting like out the window.
Yeah.
You're talking about out the window. Okay. So out the window, somebody UFO hunter. If you guys seen that UFO hunter Burgundy and Enter today that they dropped, they were talking about the guy stuck his head out the window, the SWAT officer in the body cam, and looked out that window. So, and they were talking about, you know, him potentially slipping and getting, you know, falling out the window, or another person maybe climbing down the outside of the building. My thoughts early on were, man, if this guy's standing up and he has all that broken glass at his feet and all those brass casings, so, I mean, you shoot guns, right?
Yep.
So, when I go to the range and that brass gets under your feet from, you know, other brass bouncing into your little space and your own brass, you know, bouncing off the walls and falling onto the ground, when you step on a piece of brass, it just doesn't smush. It doesn't crush, you know?
Nope.
It's pretty solid, and it throws you off balance. So I say to myself, man, this guy probably had glass and brass all over the floor. Like, what's the odds, you know, that his footing was good enough where, you know, you're throwing the gun, you're picking up another gun, you're running back into 134, you're trying to shoot at a camp post, you're all this activity near a wide open, and you're running back to the 135 wide open window, you know, 32 stories up in the sky with all that slippery content near your feet. So I would think that he was standing up, but I mean, that's kind of risky maybe. You know, especially if he was switching guns and not reloading. Because if you're reloading, you can just stand there, grab a mag, etc. If you're throwing the gun into that little, you know, tub-looking sofa thing he had going on, and picking up a new one that was loaded, I would have to think it's easier for him to stand up. But again, I don't know. I don't know what this gentleman was doing up there.
Well, to me, I don't even know if Paddock was the one shooting yet. I still haven't grasped it. There's so many discrepancies. We don't know if he had gunpowder residue on him. I mean, he had gloves on. Did they test the gloves? Did they test his shirt? Did he have any burns? Did he have, you know, if he's shooting right there and that goddamn curtain is flapping in the wind, you know he had to get a hot shell down in his neck or something, you know, hot case from a bullet, you know, the brass. That shit hurts. You know, that'll leave a mark. And he didn't have no bruising. You know, this old man, like you said, was eating soup and bad teeth or whatever the case may be. But he didn't have no bruising on his arm from shooting, 1,100 rounds or whatever.
So one of my, to go on the bruising part, a commenter posted that, and it's good, you know, I Googled a little bit into it, but what they had said was that because he died so soon after that, that the body didn't have time to cause the actual bruise, which kind of made sense to me. I did a little research about it, really didn't find anything, you know,
okay, so
spectacular.
If that's true, which I highly doubt that it is, because people get strangled all the time, they get choked out and died. They got their necks bruised even after they're dead. When people get hung by a rope, it's bruised after, even though they're dead. So I don't think that has any valid points here, because I'm not saying you're totally wrong. You know, there's probably always an exception to the rule, like anything else. But I mean, he was shooting for 15 minutes, right? 11 minutes. And so he didn't start bruising after the first 100 rounds, you know?
Yeah, and so I would have to assume he was shouldering the weapon to get any kind of accuracy, right? He's not firing this thing just straight off his hip. So that's why I would think there would have to be some kind of, I mean, you're holding that trigger 100 rounds, 94 rounds, 96 rounds, you know, I would have to think that bouncing back and forth at his age might cause a little bit of bruising. Not anything huge, but maybe something that would have showed up on the actual report.
I actually want to cut you off right there real quick. I have not brought this up, but I've talked about it to myself, I don't know, a million times, and every time I get on a video, I forget. So some people were hit multiple times, right? And when you're 450 yards away from something, I mean, even if you move that gun an inch, you're like 4 feet off.
Yes, I understand. Yes.
So how, maybe he was just holding it at his hip, or somebody was holding at their hip just in a spot. I don't really know. But I mean, you're still not going to hit one person 5 times.
I got you. Yeah, no,
even doing that. And some people were hit like 3 times, twice, 5 times. That Maureen lady that I interviewed, her husband was hit 5 times.
Yeah,
so how was that even possible? There had to have been I don't know. That some people say that he was using the chair to lean on, like in a prone position, kind of squatted maybe.
Yeah,
and just kind of.
The only thing I would say to challenge that is that everything looked exactly like the regular hotel room. Nothing really looks like it was moved, other than those 2 chairs that were pushed together, the 2 single chairs with all the firearms in them.
Yeah.
But the chairs looked like they were in the regular spot. It wasn't at the window. So if he was using it in 135, did he move it back? Did he move the chair back to the original positioning because the chair was nowhere near the window? You know what I mean? Did he say, oh, I'm just going to put this chair back for room service so they don't have to clean it up later? That's the only thing that I would say to challenge that actual idea. But you never know. I mean, I don't know what he was doing. Again, I wasn't up there. He could have did a million things different, in my opinion. With all this planning he did, all this nonsense, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, like you said, with all the planning, I mean, he knew he was going to be shooting for about 10 minutes, right, tops.
Yep.
Because that security's coming, the police are coming. So he kind of knew about 10 minutes. I mean, that's just something that's kind of a given. I don't know if anybody else has thought about that, but I mean, any kind of show or whatever, there's a response time. So why pack so many rounds if you can't get through them? Why pack so many guns if you can't get through them?
So, before I kind of answer that question, I'll give you a little bit of idea of the I want to say I'm a conspiracy nut.
Not sure. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't really believe a lot of stuff. So, one of my ideas early on was, especially with the emails, I think we forget about the emails a lot because we really can't connect them to anything.
No, I really don't. I think they're part of something.
So, when I go back to the emails, I say to myself sometimes, who was this guy talking to? Were more people supposed to show up to this party that either chickened out or just didn't show up? They didn't show up for whatever reason. Did he have more people that were supposed to knock out more windows or reload or whatever the case was while somebody else was doing something? Was he working with somebody else? Now, the whole lone wolf thing, I get it, etc. But do they sell that to you? Well, they sell that to the public so they're not scared. When in reality, they start checking those email addresses. They start checking login locations and, doing all their Googling and FBI stuff, etc. They find locations of people that actually logged in throughout the country and, use that email address. Could be potentially connected to Paddock. Did people just not show up? That's the only thing I can think of with why you have that many firearms in that room.
Yeah.
There's more people supposed to be there.
Well, was actually more people there. Were more people in on it. Chris White actually sent me a video today about the Fresno, California Police Department, where this guy exposed the police department for being a joke and just ticketing people for money because they were scanning license plates and all this stuff. Well, they ended up killing the guy. And, not all police are good people. So, I don't know.
I don't particularly go that route. I don't think it was. But you never know. I don't know what happened. Again, I'm not sure what happened. That's why That's why we're doing this, right? I just, where are more people supposed to be there? You know, I can't figure it out. So I had put out a video yesterday, I believe it was, last night, and I had talked about the video that I've been wanting to drop. So you are one of the people that I actually let in on this, on my actual finding. So instead of making a video for it, you know, I'm gonna leave it here on your page. Everybody can listen, etc., and hop on Google Earth. So if you guys got Google Earth, hop on Google Earth real quick. And if one thing that I wanted to show people that I haven't had the time to is the shooting range. In a lot of videos, they talk about Paddock went to a shooting range after he bought the Ruger, etc. Probably to sight it in. I would have to assume, right? He brought it to a shooting range to sight it in, make sure he can make the shot. But what I found strange is they kept repeating, shooting range, he went to the shooting range. It's in the fit report. It's on the news. It was in the surveillance videos. And I'm like, man, where is the shooting range? So if you guys hop on Google, and you Google the landfill, the Mesquite landfill, the shooting range, like one of the Google reviews gives you the directions to the actual shooting range. So you can find the shooting range on the map, and find the Mesquite landfill, their address, and Google Earth that. And what I looked at when I Googled that was right near the shooting range, there is two, what looks like fuel tanks, similar to the fuel tanks in Vegas. And again, that's not going to solve any mysteries. That's not going to put any pieces of the puzzle together. But I just found it very, very strange that this gentleman was in a shooting range, you know, say 200, 300, 400 yards from some fuel tanks that, you know, 24 hours later he would be trying to fire at from a hotel suite. So, you guys can go check that out. And
are they actually fuel tanks? But there's tanks that look similar to the fuel tanks in Vegas, right?
Correct. They may not be actual fuel tanks. They look similar too. You guys can check it out. They look like there's a little like a little oil truck or something like that. You guys can pull it up on Google Earth. You guys can get a better idea of what I'm actually trying to translate. But yeah, it looks like, you know, big little water tanks or oil tanks or fuel tanks or whatever it is. Very strange.
Yeah, it is totally weird. I found that totally interesting.
It's a little different, but
okay. So getting back to we kind of went off on everything, but on the body cams, the canine, it was Visco, and who's the canine guy? What's the name of the canine guy?
Newton, I believe.
Newman, right? Newman.
Newton.
Newton. Okay.
The one that flings it down the stairs.
Yeah. So he's got a goddamn dog, right?
Yes.
And they take him in the room. Why don't they send the dog in? I never understood that.
No, I believe I know they obviously they didn't bring the dog, but they didn't want a dog. They had requested that they scan those bags that had the vibrators in them.
Yeah.
I believe Bisquick there. They asked him. He actually told them, "I can get a dog up here," but then something about the dog wanted to work good, so they need to X-ray the bags instead, or something like that. He was standing right at the 135 door when they were actually speaking about that. I don't have the timestamp in front of me at the moment, but
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So I'm assuming that was another tactical decision.
Hey, hold on real quick. Scott Edmonston was caught like 3 days or 4 days after, right there, I want to say in Tennessee, and he was caught with the same kind of weapons as Paddock, a bunch of ammo,
yes,
and everything. And there is some stuff that kind of ties them together. And
yes.
I actually did a video on that. Go check it out, guys. It's kind of far back, but I found a bunch of info on that guy, and it kind of almost looks like some of it's combined, and it has to deal with Vegas, and I found it very interesting. So go check it out. I have a video on it. But anyways, I find it weird how there's no urgency whatsoever. They have time for Fiji. There's, taking a piss and all.
Yeah. And that kind of goes back to that kind of, for me, it goes back to the 10:17 timestamp. The last shots were fired, and you say to yourself, what happened in between that time? Did somebody know something? They had to, because they were clearing floors, and when they say clearing floors, I thought they were like telling people to beat it, like, or whatever the case. I thought they were searching rooms, etc. That's what I had in my mind originally. I didn't have in my mind what I saw in the video, where they just literally trooping it down the hallway and just, checking the actual hallways. I thought it was a room-to-room sweep. That's what took that 50 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I seen, them just up and down the hallway, I'm like, wait a minute here. So, and I don't want to sound disrespectful to law enforcement officers when I say this, but I'm saying to myself, what are they waiting for? They know Campos is shot on the 32nd floor. Why are we not setting something up already in the 32nd floor? Why are we clearing all these floors? How come we're not going to stop this guy? The only thing that I can think of for that is they knew he was already dead. Did Varson and Hendrick in the foyer, did they hear again that single shot go off and say, hey, we just heard a single shot, we haven't heard anything else? It sounds like it's over right now. And that's when the decision was made to clear the other floors. I can't put any logic to that actual event there. I would think, biggest mass shooting, we got to get to this guy and stop him. Maybe I'm totally off here. Not sure.
No, because I actually watched a video from Tom Zebra recently. Go check him out. He's a cool dude. He videotapes the police interactions all the time. And he went to Lombardo's election, little meeting deal that was going on. And he interviewed, oh man, I should have wrote the guy's name down, but I didn't. He's the president for the police something committee. And he said that, Levi Hancock did not have his camera because he was too worried about being a hero. So he forgot it on the charging dock. Well, Lombardo said that he just didn't turn it on. I don't know what story to believe anymore with these guys. And I actually have Levi Hancock's number. I'm going to try calling him. And a little bird dropped it off to me.
Levi Hancock, I believe just recently he was involved in another officer-involved shooting.
He was.
And I don't think the body cam was on at that point either. So this guy probably doesn't like to wear his body cam. So that probably has to be addressed by his superior. But again, that's not, for me, that's neither here nor there. Was it on? Was it on? Was it off? I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't really call that one.
Well, that's
are they hiding something? Are they not? I don't know.
So I don't know if, Lombardo was saying, he didn't have it on, he wasn't wearing it, or he didn't click it on. I mean, we don't know. We can't believe these guys anymore. And why did they what didn't they want us to see in that video? Did they not give us the video?
He was in 134. He was in 134. We didn't see 134.
No.
Which is.
Weg brought up a good point. In the previous body cam that they released of the officers hiding behind there, and you can see the shots hitting the green fence.
Correct.
It has all the info in the upper right corner. It has all the info, the type of system they're using, and all that.
Yeah, it has everything. Yeah.
And then on these ones, there's nothing. There's nothing.
Yeah, that's a little strange as well. I don't know if that's because the officers that were actually wearing them, maybe they're there for some strange reason. Their particular department got a different body camera or got an upgraded body camera because of the actual duties that they do. That's kind of what would pop into my head for that. But again, I don't know why we don't have a timestamp there. I don't know why we don't have a date stamp there. I don't know why we have anything there. And if somebody can help us out here, what's the beeping? The two double beeps. What is that? Is that the radio? Is that the camera? That you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, I totally know what you're talking about. It almost sounds like they're trying to cut something out from dispatch.
I hear you. Yeah. No, I just found those. I mean, the beeps are very loud, so it definitely sounds like it's part of the gentleman's attire, maybe. it's a radio or, I mean, we hear a cell phone, but that's neither here nor there, which is a little strange. So something that I wanted to on a lighter note here, something I wanted to talk about while my man Bisquick is standing, and I don't remember the timestamp, but my man Bisquick is standing in 135, and they're opening the windows, and one of the gentlemen, and again, people are going to look into this a lot, is he says that doesn't look like we have a broken window here or something like that.
Yeah.
But something else that I think gets missed while that particular action is happening, if you listen in the hallway chatter, over the intercom, if you guys remember from the fit report, it says that there was a baby alone by itself in a room. You remember that?
Yes, on the 32nd floor.
Yes. So
the commenters were actually just talking about that.
Over the intercom, you can hear them call the woman to return to her baby.
Yes.
If I can get the timestamp for you, I'll comment it on this post later tonight. But you can hear the actual people on the intercom from MGM, paging this woman to come get her child.
Is that the one that they said that she was hiding in a closet because of the simulation gunshots?
No, the nanny was upstairs with the baby, but the nanny was in another room. The parents weren't there.
Yeah,
so
okay,
they were
okay.
actually paging the mother to go check out the baby. Unbelievable. Human being. Unbelievable.
Yeah, so let's talk about two of those guys that UFO Hunter thought was Campos. We kind of figured out that those are Varson and Hendricks, right?
Yeah, I believe that the two uniformed gentlemen towards the end of the video, before everybody basically starts getting booted out of that particular hallway, there's two. It looks like, again, LMVPD. I might have said that wrong.
LVMPD.
There we go. So it looks like they come from the foyer inside, and the gentleman looks like he asked them, what they're doing there. And I believe those two gentlemen there are actually Varson and Hendricks, the two gentlemen that were in the security office when the actual shooting started. I think those two dudes are identified. If somebody else can help me out with that, that'd be great.
I think Wedgie on my commenters here, okay. I think he knows too.
I gotcha.
Yeah, what about the third guy, Wedgie? What do you think? Or is it Ouija? I think it's Ouija 45 or 54. Block that door open. We got walkthrough. Yeah, no, I heard that too. But we clearly hear them say, looks like a lone wolf before they even get into 134.
Yep.
We clearly hear them say there's only 13 long guns.
Yep.
Where's the rest of them? Because there was only, how many in the other room? According to the fit report.
Yeah. There was only I think 5 in the other room. 5 or 6
we clearly hear them say, no broken window here.
Yes. Well, I think that's in reference to the window that they opened the curtain on.
Behind the couch?
Yeah, because then the other gentleman or the other officer sticks his head, around the curtain that Paddock was actually shooting from. Again, we didn't really see much of that window either, right?
No.
We didn't see much of that.
But, I mean, do you think Paddock shot?
Do I think Paddock shot? I do. I think so. I think it was 2 people. I think the other person left before the SHIT hit the fan.
So does that mean we're not friends?
Huh?
So does that mean we're not friends since I think it was Paddock? Or, I mean, I don't think it was Paddock?
Not at all. I encourage lone wolf.
See, that's like my point here. I'm not getting mad at you because you think it's this or that, and I'm not. Yeah. You're not mad at me because I think we're us working together is better off than us fighting about it and not getting along.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be totally real with you, at the same time, I entertain the two shooter narrative. At the same time, I have to look at it. On other days, I look and I say to myself, man, is this happening like they said it is? Is it really going down like that? You got to refresh the mind a little bit and say to yourself, did it happen like this? Stick it in your head and then pick it apart again, and you might notice other things you didn't notice before.
I agree.
So that's kind of what I do. And again, the one person narrative, maybe the official narrative or a modified official narrative is for some people. But I personally, I mean, I find it hard to believe that this guy did it all one shot by himself.
No, I totally agree. But like I've said from the beginning, I still feel deep down inside my gut that I feel like Paddock was dead before the shooting even started. You know, I butcher animals. I know how long it takes like blood to look like that, and yes. I don't know. It's just so weird, but I don't know exactly. We can only go off of like sleep depth's deal about when the pictures were taken, but it doesn't sit right with me at all, because like I was telling you last night, we don't even know if that's the real Paddock. We never knew Paddock before this, so we didn't know what his likes were, what his dislikes were. I mean, I watched an interview today with Paddock's ex-neighbor, and they said Paddock was just like the nicest guy, and the guy that was his ex-neighbor was a Marine, and he was saying that he used to talk about shooting and stuff, and Paddock never even said he had a gun.
Yeah, the gentleman that used to play the little bar spots with him.
Yeah, at the video poker there at the little bar around the corner from his house in Mesquite.
No, I mean, at this point, you know, he could be he's a made up, whatever they want us to believe about him, that's what they're gonna give, right?
Yeah.
Because video poker, right? No matter what you think, no matter you think it's one shooter, two people, 100 people, you think it came from helicopters, you think it came from a satellite, whatever you think, I think we can all agree that this whole video poker guy is not, you know, a millionaire from video poker. No matter what you believe, we all have to agree that this guy did not make money from the video poker.
Well, how was Paddock and how was Eric Paddock buying all these multi-million-dollar properties when they were so young? From working at the Postal Service, working for what's that company Paddock worked for? They said. It's like almost government.
You're killing me right now. Huh?
It's like an almost government deal, right?
Yeah, I can't think of the name right now. Call me
okay, people that are listening, what is the job that Paddock, they said Paddock had before? Lockheed Martin, there you go, Chris.
Lockheed Martin, there you go.
Yeah.
That hurt the brain for a second.
No kidding. It's just so hard to... You have to remember, guys, we've put hours and hours and hours, like all of you have. I'm not saying you guys haven't, but there's so much to remember, and going over it all the time, some of it becomes second nature, and some of it you could ask me in 5 minutes and I'd tell you, but right now it just blew a total blank.
You know, it's crazy when the wife says, what's going on with Paddock? You know, like once a week. Like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Too much Paddock in my house right now.
No, I get asked quite more often than once a week. But, okay, so now going back to the body cam thing, since we're...
Yep.
In the Bisquick video, when they're in the foyer, how many people do you think are in there?
That's a lot of folks. You figure you got 2 security guards, you got Boston and Hendricks, there's already 4. You got Hancock, right? You got both body camera guys. So what are we at now? 7? We're already at 7 cats.
Yeah, Newton and then Bisquick.
I'd probably throw another 3 in there. We got 10 people.
I bet you there's more than 10.
There's 10, 12 people in there, because then there's a guy. Even afterwards, there's a lot more people. You see a gentleman that looks like hotel security again. It's a little strange. It does get a little strange, but at that actual moment, there's probably about 10, 12 people in there. For sure, yeah. Okay,
so let's just say that there's like 12 guys in there, right? They already know that there was cameras on the food cart.
Yes.
They already know that shots were fired down the hall at least twice, according to Campos and Shuck.
Yes.
I'm just kind of doing a hypothetical. They don't know if he's reloading, fixing a gun problem, picking his ass, eating something from the minibar, or anything like that, and yet they're just standing there with their thumb in their ass.
and that's what frustrates me, because I like to understand how things work. I like to know why people do the things that they do. And my point of view is, what are you guys doing? You know, what's going on here? Knock on wood, if I'm completely wrong about this, you know, I apologize to these guys that actually went in there and potentially risked their lives. Again, I don't want to sound rude about this, but the guy just shot up a whole concert full of people. What's the odds that this guy's not going to light you guys up too? Or, you know, you're already on camera.
No, see, that's what I mean. There was no, that one video of Tom Zebra interviewing that guy, you know, Levi Hancock was worried about being a hero. But name one person in any of those videos that you see trying to be a hero.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Everybody's kind of, you know, playing their role. Fistquick definitely looks like he gets outranked on a handful of occasions. What I mean by that is, actually, a lot of people did. A guy with like a different style hat came in. I don't know this gentleman's name, and he right away asked about the accidental discharge. He wanted to know who it was, etc. And then he kind of started, you know, shouting and talking loud and kicking people out of that room. And that's when the ball started to get rolling, where I think he might have saw something that said, "Hey, we don't need all these eyes here. You know, take a hike, beat it. See you later."
Okay, Chris White just said that Levi Hancock knew the hotel better than anybody, but why? Was he a regular there? Did he play a video poker with Paddock? Or
being a SWAT officer, maybe they trained for that. Again, I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it's not. But that's what kind of pops into my head. Is, you know, maybe they did some kind of you know, training of this sort in the hotel. So maybe he's been in and out, patrolled as a beat cop back in the day. Maybe. I'm not really sure on that one.
Okay. And we kind of already know Levi Hancock was the guy that leaked the photos.
I got you, yep.
And the photos are a little different because, let's just say, like you said, Paddock was on his stomach, right? They rolled him over to get his ID or whatever the hell they were doing and patting him down, you know, giving him his last massage, you know, before his dirt nap. But that still doesn't explain the gun over his leg.
No, and the gun on the leg has always been really, right, that anchor. That anchor for a lot of folks like us, in my opinion, where you can't explain that. How are you guys going to present that to us and say, oh, this is how it happened? You know, is Lombardo going to come out and say, well, you know, the leg and the foot? No, of course it is not. He's not going to say that. He's never going to say that. With the absence of the actual gun in the video of him laying down, the only logical thing that comes to my mind is they cleared the firearms before the actual fit report photos were taken, but that doesn't make sense to me either because they left the magazines on. So if any of them were loaded, they'd still be loaded. But that's the only thing that I can sell myself at this moment, that, you know, with the leg, the foot, and the gun, you know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, and another thing, too, on the beginning of that one body cam video, you see them getting all their stuff out of the back of the cars, you know, to, like, get suited and booted.
Yes.
Still no urgency. Then they make their way into the motel, and it's not, like, methodical or anything, because they don't know what the hell's going on, but you think they'd be more, you know, at ready, you know, like, be ready for something.
Oh, I understand.
But they're just in there walking with their guns. That one guy's got they're walking just normal, pistols down. You know, they don't know what's going on. They don't know if the shooter came down the elevator or what the case may be. Then they get to the elevator bank down there in the lobby, and they say, get me up to the 29th floor.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on the 29th floor? That kind of brought me back to, I have an insider in Vegas that does a lot of work for me.
Yes.
And this person kind of works at a motel. I'm not going to say which one. But she says that when food service goes up to get delivered to, like, you know, room service or whatever, the food.
Yes.
That they put a special box or whatever, and that has a number on it. Well, the number that's in Paddock's room is 29 on a box. There's a 29 on a box, and it's got like a Luxor sticker, and it's got something else on it, and it says 29 on it. And she said that's like floor specific. If it says 29, it's going to the 29th floor. If it says 30, it's going to the 30th floor. If it says 16, it's going to the 16th floor.
Yep.
So, in that video, the body cam video, they say, get me to the 29th floor. Well, what's so popping at the 29th floor? Yeah. Because there has been, you know, some discussions about it actually happened on another floor, and they staged it on this floor, and, you know, because in that one, even some commenters were saying right now, that one SWAT video shows them, like, carrying a body bag, you know? It's like 4 guys long. And, I mean, how many guys would it take to carry a 6'4" guy? You know, what do you weigh, 240 pounds? I don't remember.
Yeah,
but
something like that. And all geared up as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of something to think about, too. I mean, there's so many things to think about. That's why we do all this, to kind of weigh the options of which way it goes.
Oh, for sure. Could there have been a second person staying on the 29th floor, and they needed the extra food cart, so he brought his food cart up after he was done with his meal? You know, is that, you know, another avenue of thought? You know, is that the potential? The probability of that is probably slim and none. But, you know, there is the idea that maybe, hey, I need an extra food cart. You want to swing this one up? In the fit report, you can track down there is 3 food carts, I believe.
Yeah.
So that was kind of weird, too.
I mean, you don't think they'd get a little wondering after the second food cart being left there?
Oh, yeah, I would assume that as a supervisor or a manager would, you know, get a head count of these things, especially during a busy weekend, keep track of these, make sure they have enough for, you know, for everybody, and then have to shift around accordingly.
We have to, that's like what you just said, a busy weekend. We have to remember there was a music festival going on. There was, 24,000 people there a day. And, you know, not everybody went every day. And all these hotels are, like, filled up. Don't you think they're going to be running low on food carts?
Could be. But at the same time, you know, I don't know. Paddock's something else. That's a lot of food. 1 person. 2 food carts. I don't know. I don't get this guy.
Like you said, 3 food carts are mentioned. Yep. Plus, they had to restock the mini bar the second day he was there by 3 o'clock.
It's very strange. This guy's something else, I'm telling you.
I'm a fat guy, and I've never went anywhere, and they've had to restock the mini bar until I was gone.
You know what I mean? Not solo missions. Very difficult.
Yeah.
Now, you know, it could have been 1 or 2 items, a bottle of water, a can of Pepsi. But either way, you know, for them to mention that, why did they mention that? There's got to be a reason why they mentioned that. You know, throws a bone, throws a scrap of a little clue or something. But it's just very odd that this guy outdrank the mini bar or ate all the M&Ms in the mini bar. It's very strange to me.
Yeah, a commenter just brought up, too, the suicide cameras that are mounted on top of Mandalay Bay.
Correct.
Are those going to show us anything, you think?
I highly doubt Mandalay Bay will release that. I mean, we're getting the body cam footage from LMVPD. I messed that up again.
LVMPD.
They're releasing that due to legal reasons. I don't believe that Mandalay Bay legally has any obligation.
No, they don't, because it's not public record.
They're not gonna reveal this information to us. They're not gonna offer that up. It would be phenomenal. I apologize if other people feel like that footage would hurt somebody's heart. Apologize for that, but for the sake of what we all think and do in our community, I'd love to see those videos, but I doubt we're getting any of that. To be real with you, I don't even know how we got the surveillance video, you know. Very strange. Very strange.
Yeah, and Sleep Dips just brought up, too, the 2 shots that you hear at the bus stop. Well, Paddock didn't shoot himself twice because he can't shoot himself in the mouth, and then,
Very strange.
there was only one bullet supposedly out of that gun. And the bullet, the shots you hear at the bus stop are not pistol rounds. So that has nothing to do with the suicide there. That has something to do with something else.
So those 2 single shots, I have no... I don't want to say I don't pay attention to those.
Hey, hold on real quick. Michelle Gray, what's up? Tell me and I'll listen to you. She says nobody's listening to her, so I'm going to give her a chance to comment.
I gotcha.
Chris White said there's a video called the silent video. 30 minutes in, you hear the 2 shots. You need to put that link, Chris White. Have you ever seen that video, JB?
I don't recall, but I will check it out. If we get a link, or I'll YouTube it, or I'll try to hunt it down.
Cue Jeopardy music. Oh. We'll find the video, Chris White, and post the link, and we'll check it out.
Sure,
anyways,
sure.
Go back on, JB. Say what you want to say.
Yeah, so I mean, this guy's had something else, and I just, again, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure if all the shots came from there. I'm not sure. But more specifically, if you really wanted to get down to those 2 final shots, I don't know what kind of rifle that was, handgun, whatever you think it is. I don't know. Is there potential for that gun to have more rounds in it at some point and get flung out the window? Did those rounds, those casings make it out the window? The reason I say that is I find it very difficult to believe that some glass and some brass didn't fall out of that 135 window in that whole course of, the time that he was actually firing. So could he have, shot that firearm inside the hotel room a couple times prior to, and then kick some of the brass and, glass out the window, and those rounds went with him? But that doesn't make sense either in my head, because one casing, what's the odds about one casing? It just doesn't, the whole thing just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, he broke there. Obviously, people don't know this. There was two hammers. They found one in 134. They found one in 135. The one in 135 was like a regular hammer, and the one in 134 had tape on the head of it. And I don't know what for, to make less noise or whatever.
Yeah.
But whether you're knocking glass out or breaking it with a gun or whatever the case may be, there has to be glass outside on the ground and bullet casings.
That's what I mean, yeah.
There has to be.
There's got to be something.
Yeah.
There's got to be something. Especially, again, if you're right on the edge of that window, if you're standing up, like a commenter mentioned, what position was he firing in? If he was either standing up or kneeling down, he had to have a little bit of empty rug space to stand or kneel comfortably. Turn, I mean, where are you going to push that glass and brass? Why not push it out the window? Were you going to be kind to the people sitting on the sidewalk? No. You're just going to push that. You're going to push that stuff wherever you can to get it out of your way at that particular moment. I don't know. Paddock's a very different individual, so I don't know what this guy's thinking. Maybe he was doing that. Maybe he wasn't doing that. But the 1,100 rounds fall short, I think, in my opinion, in all the photos. No way, 1,100 rounds.
I'm with you, too. I did that video. It looked like a bunch, but there was only 358 or 357. CL won that one.
The round from the firearm, the handgun, 1 round, I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of hard-to-believe scenarios here,
Yeah, okay, so people are saying laptops. What do you think about the laptops? Do you think he took a laptop with no hard drive there?
The conspiracy side of my brain says no way. They yanked that bad boy, and the FBI has that, which I believe could be connected to the email. But I don't know. The no hard drive thing, I found it very strange in the Bruce interview that he says that they made the hard drive. That's one of his particular quotes there. They made the hard drive in reference to the other two Paddock brothers. So that was very strange as well that we ended up finding a missing hard drive. But yeah, that's definitely something very strange. Like, who got off with this thing?
Well, Derek right here says that the MGM has the hard drive.
MGM, huh?
I could believe it.
My question is, how would, who's allowing MGM to get it? Like, when would MGM be able to get into that particular room?
Shuck had, their boy Shuck had a master key, so did Campos.
But I believe there was armed officers outside of that room the whole time.
What time do you think the armed officers got there?
What time do I think they got there?
Yeah.
The armed officers we're talking about, Lawson and Hendricks.
Yes.
If they're going by the time 10:17, and I don't know if this whole timeline thing is accurate or not. If their report says 10:17, I believe they pulled up in the
Truth Bomb. What's up, buddy?
Stairwell. These guys were in the stairwell at 10:17. Do I think that's accurate? I think that's accurate. At the same time, that totally conflicts the idea of what I have of that second person left, because that second person would only have, say, a 3-minute window, a 3-minute window of time before somebody would have noticed that second person. So,
what's up, Eddie?
My biggest question, I think, is, were they in the stairwell or were they in the center core? Every report tells us that they were in the stairwell. But if they were at the center core on the actual 32nd floor, are those the two that Paddock saw that shook him at 10:17, and that's why he killed himself? Because again, Lombardo says in a couple interviews that his officers arrived at the 32nd floor at 10:17, when in reality, his officers were in the stairwell at 10:17, not in the actual 32nd floor. The 32nd floor had armed Mandalay security, according to the pit report. So that was always a little bit strange to me, I guess, that whole timeline piece.
Right. Yeah, like this guy Pete said, why not shoot the cops in the stairwell from 134?
Well, when would he wouldn't know that they were in there because of the L bracket, you know what I mean? So during the actual shooting, and again, I don't want to sound ignorant to law enforcement. I'm not calling these guys out by any means, but why the tactical decision, other than you don't want him to shoot down the hallway again? That makes total sense to me. But why go to the 30, why go into the stairwell and watch the door? If the L bracket was there, the L bracket was there because you were in the security office when it was called in, potentially. And you're with 2 other security officers. So at this point, Campos is already shot, right? There's no way Paddock would have known anybody was on the way yet or at his particular location other than Shuck and Campos. And then when the elevator hit at 10:17, 2 armed security guards and that Shannon, engineering supervisor guy came out the elevator. Those 3 guys stopped Paddock. So Paddock didn't know to shoot at those doors right there through the L bracket doors because, the camera doesn't have, he can't see through the actual door. So if the L bracket's up like they're saying, why go to the stairwell?
Okay, so who goes through the L bracket? Who breaks the L bracket?
The Hancock team breaks the L bracket, which totally debunks my idea of somebody zapping the screws out and taking off from the stairwell, which is a good thing in a way, because I can stop thinking like that. But yeah, no, you see in the actual the Bisquick video, it looks like once they break into the door, which I believe they're doing from the bottom of the door, right? So I always ask, where's the damage? Where's the damage? Where's the damage? If you watch Bisquick's video while they're in there, I believe he's doing something with the Fiji water at that particular moment. you could see them get into the bottom door, like the bottom of the door. They go through the bracket, and then the gentleman steps back out with a piece of what looks like molding, like door molding. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it looks like they got through somehow through the actual bottom of that door, which again solves a lot of my questions. It kind of kills half of one of my hypotheses about this event, which is again a good thing because I don't have to waste any more time on those avenues. But yeah, that was that whole SWAT crew that was in that foyer. It wasn't Boston and Hendricks. So, but why sit in that hallway, right? If you're Boston and Hendricks, you know somebody shot on the 32nd floor. You don't want to try to, help Campos?
Yeah, no, they said he was shot with a pellet gun, remember?
Even more, you have a little bit more confidence to go up there knowing it's only a pellet gun and not an AR-15 or whatever he had up there,
Yeah.
But either way, that was a very strange decision from my point of view. Why wait so long? What caused Paddock to just shut it down and say, nope, I'm good, boom, I'm out? I'm not quite sure, and that's always been a mystery to me.
Well, I got a bunch of viewers.
Yep.
That they want me to shoot through a door.
Okay.
And they want me to shoot 200 rounds through the door.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see if we can see a gun on the other side of it.
I gotcha.
Because Lombardo said they could see a gun through those holes in the door.
Yep.
So I think that's bullshit.
Now, the only two guns they would have seen in that case would be the firearm that was to the right in that little walkway with quick walks, where that gun's right there on the tripod. Which I'll tell you what, some of the people that are more hip than I am to the actual videos, the body cam videos, when Biff Quick walks down that particular hallway, do we see that gun on the tripod? Is that on the floor from the fit report photos and stuff?
No.
I don't recall now that I'm thinking about that. So did that gun get put there as well?
Yeah, they staged that whole crime scene. In my opinion, that was staged. They put things how they wanted. They went in, they were not worried about evidence. They were not worried about nothing. They weren't worried about a second shooter in 134, obviously. It was total training day, learning day on how to breach a room.
I feel you. I'm not sure. Like, it just doesn't, was that gun placed there? Was it really there? Because it doesn't look like it's there. Nobody's trying to avoid it. You have the other firearm looks like it's there. The one that the piece of wood is underneath. I believe that rifle is laying there. But I don't think that other rifle's there. So the only two guns they would have seen is either that gun that was on the bipod or the gun that had the piece of wood under it. The only two ones they could have potentially saw. So which one? Which angle did they actually see? What did they do? What were they really looking at? I'm not sure. Did somebody already know? Like I said before, did somebody already know this guy was dead? Did somebody already have some kind of foreknowledge? Is that why everything was so slow paced? They're down there taking a leak. They're washing their hands. I'll tell you what. When I'm busy at work, sometimes I go like, I have to use the restroom, and then an hour and a half later, I'm like, wow, I still didn't use the restroom yet. I got to stop and take a leak. So I'm saying to myself, like, man, this guy could be up there reloading and getting ready for y'all, and y'all are down here peeing and drinking Fiji Boy. What's going on?
No, I'm with you on that one too, man.
What's happening over here? So again, did somebody already know this guy was dead? Did somebody have a master key? Did they get in there beforehand? Was this and I hate to think that way. I really do. I hate to think this way because I think I'm insane sometimes. But did somebody already enter that room before SWAT team entered that room? I don't know. I'm totally lost.
Somebody just said that, somebody shot Paddock in the chest and it went out Paddock's back and maybe grazed Campos in the leg.
Okay. I gotcha. I can roll with that if we could put some evidence behind it.
Yeah.
I think I find the Campos shooting odd because I think those shots in the door, high up on the door, know, they say he got hit by a bullet fragment. Okay, all right, I get it. What kind of bullets does this guy use?
Yeah, no
Full
kidding.
Metal Jacket. What is that Full Metal Jacket hitting that's causing it to explode? Unless they were hollow points. Maybe they were hollow points. I'm not sure. Some of the ammo folks. Maybe we got one of the ammo experts listening.
Even if there were hollow points, they're gonna mushroom out, and there's nothing hard enough in that hallway to make them let's just say 34 rounds. We kind of know like there was 34 rounds that went through that door. And there's
32,
like,
correct?
Yeah, but there's a couple stragglers, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Let's just say, how many pieces, I think it's like 13 point some pieces per round.
Yep.
That they have to break into to make 200 strikes.
It's crazy. It is a little far-fetched.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some of the bullet strikes. And to go with that idea, if a lot of folks are saying that there's holes in the food cart, like it's bullet holes in the actual food cart, which it looks like a clean bullet hole through there. But that doesn't look like in my opinion, that doesn't look like a 5.56 entry.
It does to me.
So again, we can agree to disagree here. I don't know. It looks a little small to me. But with that said,
dude, a 5.56 is not much bigger than a 22. A standard 22 round is what, 40 grains? And
40. Yeah, 40. Yeah, I'll go 40.
Yeah, they're about 40 grains. I could go get a box out of my truck right now. You want to see?
I will. I only have my phone with me, so.
Yeah, they're about 40 grains unless they're hollow point. Then they're like 36 or whatever.
The food cart's to the far left, right, of the room. If you're standing in, like Paddock was standing, if you're standing there and you look out, the food cart's to the left.
Yeah.
If you were shooting at Campos down the hallway through the right door on the right-hand side, looking at it, and all those bullets are up there, so how did they get into the food cart? The food cart was shifted over to the left. How did any of those bullets, clip that food cart skirt from the right side of that actual, was he pointing at the 134 door, and shooting through the 135 door? That doesn't make any, I always found that one kind of strange.
Yeah, no, I do too.
Was the food cart, I find that very strange.
And what I found hard to believe too, people said it was from debris. Well, the debris on towards the door of 135, not on the opposite side of the cart where the camera was, underneath the plate.
I don't think that debris would have left perfect circles like bullet holes would.
No.
So I find the bullet hole thing more believable than actual debris. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I feel like it's a little more sellable with bullets. But again, he must have been shooting on an angle.
Yeah. Almost like he was taking cover from the 135 master bedroom.
Yes, correct.
Yeah,
that's exactly a similar angle to the scenario that I have in my mind right now. That was an excellent comparison.
Well, something maybe that was Mary Lou. When she was loading the magazines in 135, she was the one that shot through the door.
Something. She took the rifle. She was out. See you later.
Well, guys, I have to go back and tend to my family. My wife's still not feeling good, so I want to thank you, JB. We'll do this again.
For sure, brother. I want to thank everybody that's out there watching, making videos. All the YouTube creators, all the YouTube commenters. Just want to say thank y'all. The support is amazing. I hope the support, coming from us as well. I hope it helps you guys out. I hope it motivates you guys. And don't lose any steam. We're getting closer.
Yeah, one day at a time.
That's it, brother.
All right, JB, hammer down.
Hammer down, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Later.
Peace.
I want to do a quick shout out to one of my subscribers named Angela. She sent me some salve to try, and it's totally amazing. I live with pain every day. Every day from my gout. I have Joint problems for my gout, my elbows, my knees. I need one knee replaced. I'm waiting on that. And she sent me some... Can you guys read that? It's backwards, but it's Canna Elysium. And her deal is Essence of Herbal Fusion, the alternative remedy for muscle, joint, and nerve pain. And it's totally awesome, guys. I put this on, and I felt the difference within 5 minutes. She has a Facebook page and everything. Just look for Essence of Herbal Infusion. Her name is Angela. She's down from where I grew up. We kind of know the same people. But it has like cannabis infused stuff. It's a salve. And she sent this to me free of charge. And it totally works for me. This is like the only thing. Thanks, Chris. But it's totally amazing. Totally amazing stuff. I'm going to do a separate video on it so that I could put her info in there. And she sent me a bunch of stuff to try. Yes, it totally helps with the pain. I deal with pain all the time, guys. It's not like a normal pain. I deal with gout pain, and my joints are bad, and I almost lost my right leg due to gout, so I have nerve pain. And I put this on yesterday. I put it on today too a few times, and I put it on yesterday, but within 5 minutes, yes, it would work on anything. And I put it on my knees, I put it on my feet. My feet were hurting real bad yesterday because my toes are bad because of my joints, because of gout. And it totally worked. I put it all over my feet. My feet were so tired yesterday from walking and doing stuff. And what a difference. This stuff is amazing. It's like the only thing that I've found that has worked. And I've tried. I mean, guys, look. This is what I keep in my car. Asper cream. This used to just like barely take the edge off. And now, Essence of Herbal Fusion. And it's Canna Elysium. It's badass stuff. JB, thank you so much, buddy. I was just going over the stuff that Angela sent me, and it totally works. And I will get you guys her thing. So doing the door thing is going to cost me some money. So if you guys want to make a PayPal donation, that's totally awesome. Go to paypal.me/Alan Duckworth, because it's going to cost me, it's like, it's going to cost me at least $120. And if you guys can send, or even if you guys want to send me the ammo, 223 or 556, and that'll help too. If you guys want to send me the ammo, I'm okay with that too. Yo, Wedgie, you never got back to me if it's Wedgie, Ouija, what is it? And I'm not making fun of you, I just don't know. But thank you guys. Thank you, Angela. You're amazing. It's totally amazing. It so helped me. This is the only thing to help me so far. Thank you, Chris White. Thank you, Mr. Ouija. Truth Bomb. You guys are all amazing. Michelle. Everybody for saying thank you. Everybody, I appreciate it. Hammer down. So it's Ouija, but like Luigi. Yes, you guys can send ammo through mail. I get the ammo through mail, so I know it's totally legal. Just send the ammo. Email me at d6fam2@gmail.com or farmersfortruth2@gmail.com. Or you guys could go to my website, farmersfortruth.com, and we can go over it there. And Little Monster Pants, no thank you. And email me one round at a time. That would cost a fortune, wouldn't it? Anyways, guys, thank you. Hammer down. Still gonna blow up a car. What Ouija? No, I don't play that, but it's all good. But hammer down, guys. I love you. Thank you. Make a donation or send me some ammo. I'll be happy and I'll give you guys a shout out and I'll send you some honey. And I have not sent out the honey yet. They cut the lady's hours back at our post office again. It's so hard to get mail here because we can't always just go over there and she's there. So I will get all the people that want honey out and that I'm sending honey to. I will try to get it out Monday or Tuesday if she's there. Hopefully, if not, then when I go to town, Mike isn't doing so well. But I really don't want to talk about it right now. So, hammer down, guys. Oh, congratulations, Jessica. Tell her congratulations from the farmer. All right, guys, hammer down.